Hello, and making a new video. Today we're going to take a look at the Ultra League Premier Cup. This is not the Premier Classic Cup, it's the Premier Cup, which means I think it's only no legendary, and this is basically the only rule. And it's going to be in the Ultra League, of course. So it's going to be most likely a very short one, as the meta is not big and different there. So let's take a look at some teams and also the meta really quick. If we take a look at the meta now, we're going to see a ton of XL Pokemon. I am so shocked. A lot of people won't really like this one. But I also have some non-XL teams later on, but yeah, we can see here it's a lot similar to the normal Ultra League. There's just no Cresselia, Giratina, Registeel, Deoxys Defense. All those things are banned, but also most of the things are pretty easy to get usually. For example, like the Giratina, a lot of people have. So for those, maybe you should still stay at the Open Ultra League. Otherwise, we see some teams here. Like some Pokemon here that we also see usually. Some other stuff is a little bit higher up than usual. For example, also the Machamp will have a little bit more play this time around, I would say. Surfetch still very cool. We have the meta here with the Walrein and the Trevenant basically back again. Well, it's also one reason why Surfetch and Machamp is pretty cool for those meta reasons. Also, Scrafty going to be amazing again. You're gonna know it already. You're going to have a team with Nido, Double Dark, and stuff like this. Basically, all those standard teams that you know from the Ultra League are still very viable. There's not a lot that you can do here. If we take a look at the non-XL Pokemon real quick, we will be able to see that there is a Swampert, there is a Walrein, there's Kommo, which is a little bit tricky to get. Surfetch, Dragonite is very decent this cup again. I have also some Dragonite teams again. But otherwise, there's not a lot of them that are really good. Escavalier is good, Snorlax is good, but afterwards it kind of really went down hill there. There's not really a lot that we can run here. So let's take a look at some teams. As already said before, first team here, we're going to have Nido, Double Dark. What a surprise. You can run it the other way around again as well if you want to use Nidoqueen in the back and something like a Drapion as a safe swap and something like a Scrafty, something super spicy here in the lead. Then you can also do this. Otherwise, just go ahead and go for the old standard formula that is working since Season 8. And I actually wonder when we're gonna get like a nerf for Nidoqueen. Give Poison Fang only a 50% chance to debuff the opponent's defense, because it's basically how it also works in the main series games. Would be nice. But otherwise, nowadays, yeah, Nido Double Dark is just a very strong core. If you want to play the team that's currently here on the screen, I think I would actually recommend you to run something like Gangshot on your Obstagoon there and use it as a safe swap, or Hyper Beam if you want to be a little bit more spicy. Main reason for this, like, Obstagoon has like some more potential to flip some matchups that are not as good for it, or like at least get a shield from it. For example, against Charmers, you would still be able to get to a Gangshot, while you are kind of screwed with the Scrafty there, and Scrafty is a better sweeper thanks to Power Punch. So not really the craziest team. Let's go into the next one. The second team here going to be, of course, with the so nice and common core of Walrein and Trevenant. Amazing, isn't it? Yeah, for this reason, we're going to have a Machamp in the lead, which is going to have some very cool matchups in this meta. You will be able to destroy those dark and fighting type Pokemon like the Scrafty or like the dark normal type Pokemon Obstagoon with the Machamp pretty easily. I would use as a safe swap in this team actually the Trevenant, I think, just because I think the matchup, like the combination between the Machamp and the Walrein is a little bit better. With Machamp, you have some options against flying types, which is not really usual with fighting types. Otherwise, you can also use something like Surfetch though, which is also fine. But Machamp looks pretty solid for this team, and I think it's definitely something that you might want to try out. Of course, this is also a no XL team, kinda. You can XL the Trevenant, but you don't have to XL the Trevenant. So this would be something that's a little bit easier to be built. The third team here going to be a team that we also see a lot of times already. We're going to have the Dragonite in the lead. We're going to have a safe swap here of either the Greedent, or if you want to have the no XL version, the Snorlax. Snorlax might be even a little bit better. In the back, we're going to have the XL Steelix or the XL Stunfisk. And again, if you want a non-XL version, you can use Escavalier here, I think. There are not a lot of steel types available that are really good with this team. I think maybe you could also try out Empoleon, but I don't know how good this is in the current meta. But otherwise, this team is pretty solid. Like, it's basically the most standard team that you can run. You're going to have the Dragonite in the lead, which is super standard, and like basically Generation 1, you have the safe swap of Snorlax, which has been played like this already for decades, I want to say, but not that long, 6 years basically. But yeah, it's just a standard team that you've seen already. Like Dragon and Steel types are very good core together, and we're going to have another team that is pretty similar coming up. The next team here going to be a team around Talonflame and also another dragon in the back here with the Como. You can also use a different dragon, and I wouldn't really recommend you to use a dragon that's also flying, but maybe something like a Gudra would be also fine. But yeah, this is something that should work out pretty well. We have the same save swaps as before. Those save swaps are just safe, as they also kind of say in the name with save swap. But yeah, we're going to have the lead here, which is going to be able to destroy some fighting types. You have the save swap, which can get them out, and then again, you have in the back something that will benefit from the things that Talonflame beat, because Talonflame is able to beat something like an ice type or something like a fairy type. So you will be able to basically have a free roam then for the dragon in the back. That's why dragon type is so good in the lead, like in the back there. That's why the combination between a Talonflame and a dragon is very decent. But again, it's kinda also lame. This cup in general is very lame. It's basically the same as a normal Ultra League. Let's go into the final team. So we're done with this. And the final team of this video is something that I actually kind of think going to be very nice. Gyarados is something that a lot of people don't really expect. You will be able to get out the Pokemon that you really want to get out for the Pokemon that you have in the back, like the Dragonite there. Especially, for example, you have a team against you where you lose the lead and the opponent has something like the Warren in the back, which is going to be very common. Warren going to be a very common Pokemon. You will be able to just swap into your Gyarados. You will get this Pokemon out, and you're still going to have the neutral damage from either Dragon Breath or Dragon Tail, which you have to run on this Pokemon, and also still the pressure of the crunch on this Pokemon. And even if you don't win the matchup, you're gonna get this thing low and out of the way for your Dragonite in the back to sweep late game. You will be able to get out Charmers potentially if there are some that are really common. I don't know yet, we will see. But yeah, this team does make a lot of sense, and yeah, you can run this team if you want to. But otherwise, this cup doesn't really look too spectacular. It's just literally Ultra League, but the legendaries banned, which are usually non-XL and usually more accessible. So let me know in the comment section what team you're going to play, and also let me know in the comment section if you want to play this cup or if you're going to play the Open Ultra League. That's going to be it for the video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, and we see you then in the next video. Bye!